Hello and welcome back to UKSG Blue 2025. We've got Halo Infinite done by Caitlin. Take it away.
Hello, my name is Caitlin, and we're going to be playing Halo Infinite today. Halo Infinite is the latest Halo game. It's a bit polarizing, but I particularly enjoy it. We're going to be playing today on the Legendary difficulty, which is the highest standard difficulty in Halo. So enemies are going to be very tough, and I'm going to be made of paper. So if we are ready to go, is Tech ready on time? Oh. Yeah, okay, so time is going to start once I gain control. So time starts now. So, starting off on Warship of Bracken, first thing you're going to notice, I have a grappling hook. The grappling hook lets me just sort of traverse a lot of the maps pretty easily. It's probably one of the best things added in Halo Infinite. So, Warship is a pretty standard level. It's a lot of movement, a lot of combat, and so we're just going to be trying to make our way through. As mentioned before, this is Legendary, so any small movement mistake could potentially cost me my life. So I'm going to try my best to make my way through as quickly as I can. A lot of the enemies here are on specific paths. So long as I can beat them, to where their AI activates, we're all good. So the other way, the fastest method of movement I've got just now is called grapple sliding, where essentially if I sprint into a grapple and then slide afterwards, I will gain a lot of speed. So, a little bit of combat here. We're just waiting for an elevator. There's a couple of brutes going to come out here, so we'll just grab a couple of coils and set up for those kills. And yeah. Oh, I have the wrong crouch behavior on. Oh, well, there we go. There's our first death. Self-inflicted. These things happen on Legendary. There we go. That was my own fault. We can call that one a skill issue. Getting the first death a few minutes in is it's not too bad. I'm actually going to have to pause quickly because I forgot to set a specific behavior. Hold to crouch. There we go. That is necessary for a lot of glitches coming up. So once these brutes come on out, you'll just toss the coil again. And yeah, that's about the first minute of Halo Infinite. A lot of movement, a lot of combat. Yeah, I actually swapped the wrong weapon there. So, one thing to explain is we're actually playing on a down-patched version of Halo Infinite. We're playing on what's called the pinch patch, which allows for a lot of bugs that the devs removed. We'll talk a bit more about that later. For now, the structure of the level is going to be a bit circular shaped. We're supposed to start at the bottom, work our way to the top, and then work our way down the opposite way. However, there's a small break in the level design. Doors in Halo Infinite are very, very broken. This door on our right here holds one of the biggest glitches. Well, like one of the first finds. Oh, I messed up a little bit. This is fine. We can just adapt. So if I melee this door once, twice... Oh, goodness me. Never mind. We're 2 deaths in already. We're off to a fantastic start. So, if we slide over here, we're just going to kill some enemies. We're going to kill some enemies to make this a little bit safer. Okay, my grenade actually did what it wanted to this time. So if I melee this door 4 times, walk into it, I can load the area behind this door and make my way up the opposite end of the level. So we're going to make our way down here. There's nothing down here. There's not even any lighting. Because you're really just not supposed to be down here at this point. I'm also going to grab a battle rifle. This is going to be one of the most important weapons going forward in the game. So we're going to make our way around here. So now that I've hit the escape trigger, you're going to notice like the level is now blowing up. That's because from a story perspective, we blew up the engines of the ship so that we could escape, because we're currently trapped in it. We're currently trapped in the stasis beam. This coil, I left this coil to the site earlier. We're going to be carrying this back to around here. This door was to our left when we first entered this room. Now it's open, so we can come down here, and we're going to be doing the first trick of the run. So we're going to make our way around here. I'm going to wait for I'm going to get one. I got a checkpoint here, so we're going to set this coil up against the door, and I'm going to wait for a thank you. And then if I jump and grapple the coil, I will... okay, I'm going to have to adapt a little bit here. Because I got a bit of bad redirects there. Okay, saved. We're good, we're good. And we land here. So I'm going to kill some enemies to make us a little bit safe. And that is the ending to Warship Bracken. That's the first level down already. So there we go. Let's just move on to the next level. This is the second level, Foundation. This is probably the second hardest level in the run. The first 4 minutes or so are honestly kind of boring, but afterwards is where it gets quite difficult. So once again, we're on Legendary, so enemies are very tough. One of the main principles to the Legendary in Halo Infinite is that enemies can't kill that which is moving too fast. So we're essentially just going to be making our way from point A to point B as fast as possible, and yeah. So we managed to get through the first area. That area can be a bit tough, but thankfully I managed to just work my way through. I got a bit of a bad slide there. To be fair, that slide is very difficult. That is not me just coping. It might be actually. That was a really bad grenade actually. Let's that again. So now we're gonna come up to, we're gonna do another coil launch here. Oh, goodness me. Never mind, we're not gonna do a coil launch. I'm gonna fall off the map. We're off to a fantastic start here. I promise I'm better than this usually. Okay, that's a better slide right here. I didn't get the double slide, but that's okay. So we'll land. Toss another grenade there. Oh, okay, never mind. So that's this is a problem with go. So I went slow there. That's the problem with going slow in Legendary, is you just die. So hopefully we're actually gonna get there this time, and we're actually gonna be able to do the trick. So we'll toss the nade. There we go. We actually killed everything this time. So we're making our way safely to the next coil launch. We're just gonna set it up here, and then if we jump and grapple again, we're gonna make our way up. And there we go. So this room right here is also very difficult. This room is packed with enemies. And believe it or not, the fastest and easiest way to get through it is just to run straight down the middle. So we're just going to do that. And then once we're at the end, we're just going to toss a few grenades, because that's going to make the enemies dodge. And if the enemies are dodging, they're not shooting us. So there we go. I didn't even lose my shields there. That's typically how these movement sections should go. So these are called Silexes. From a lore perspective, from a lore perspective, these are just like forerunners who have been genetically held in stasis. They're actually on cycles. I got a very, very good cycle. The cycle is decided the moment you do the coil launch, actually. So yeah, now we're on an elevator. We have a little bit of downtime. So do we have any messages the host would like to give? Because if not, I can yap. Sounds like I'm yapping. So, as mentioned previously, we are playing on a down-patched version of Halo Infinite that we call the Pinch Patch. Back when the game first released, it took us about a week to break this game wide open. We found numerous glitches to do with basically broke the game wide open with basic mechanics. One of the biggest finds that we found was called lunge warping. Lunge warping is a trick where if you melee an enemy as you enter a vehicle, your coordinates get corrupted and your hitbox sent to a location based on, like, there's a massive, like, there's like a massive formula. I don't have the qualifications to explain it. But essentially we found a way to lunge warp from the start of the game into the third to last mission. The speedrun was quickly brought down to under 30 minutes. The thing is, like, lunge warping is, to put it lightly, lunge warping is cringe. So the community sat down and said, hey, this is really cringe, let's make a better category. And that's where all missions came from, where we're going to be beating the game 15 missions in order, back to back. So that's the end of this auto-scroller. We're going to make our way back around again. So there's going to be a few, what I like to call, intentional skips coming up. So the grappling hook in development was added very, very late on. So therefore, the level design wasn't really built for it, meaning that we can do little skips like this. Typically, we're supposed to use a power seed to power a grav lift, but instead, with two well-placed grapples, we can just swing across and press the button we're meant to press. And thankfully, the developers were kind enough to let us progress the game if we did this little skip. There's a few more coming up here. Something else to mention is the grapples are on our grappling hook charges in about 3.5 seconds. So we actually have almost every single cycle mapped out for the first couple levels. After a while, I'm going to get some upgrades to make my grapple cooldown a lot less. So grapple cycling isn't going to matter very much. But a lot of the grapples I'm doing, you're going to be seeing a lot of runners do time and time again. So we're doing another couple of intentional skips here. We're meant to press some buttons, but again, with well-placed grapples, we can just swing over absolutely everything. So we're going to come around again. The third little intentional skip is going to be coming up here. So we're going to kill this guy. I also have the grunt birthday party skull on because it's pretty funny. When you headshot a grunt, it like says whoopee and explodes with confetti. I find it mildly entertaining. So this is the next intentional little skip. We're supposed to put another power seed in, an activated gravity lift, but that is slow. So we're just going to grapple up and then get a little slide out at the end. We're going to pick up our first little upgrade here. This is Spartan Bonita Stone, who has a shield module. This is going to give us a little 15% bump in shields, going to make us a little bit more tanky. So this is the end of the level. There is a large combat encounter here, followed by a boss fight. So we need to clear this entire room and put a power seed in to power the elevator. Sadly, we can't skip this one because it's the level end trigger. The best way to get around this map, like most others in Legendary, is literally just to run past as fast as possible. Thankfully, to help us clear the room, there are these large hard light coils. I shot them with my mangler there, so they're going to fizzle a little bit, and then they're going to explode and kill a few enemies. The hard light projectiles are homing, so hopefully they're going to kill quite a few enemies and make it a bit safer for me coming back. This is actually the first power seed we're grabbing in the run. When you're holding a power seed or a coil, you actually move a lot slower. So typically with power seeds, we're going to be throwing them around a lot. So I'm going to be watching my radar here for enemies. There's a jackal up there we're going to kill. There's a grunt right there. I'm going to throw a plasma. He did not die to that, sadly. These things happen. We're going to shoot that third hard light coil. And then we're going to make our way up to the left. So a result of me just sort of charging through the room is that the enemies are going to take a little while to make their way back to me. So we're just going to slowly clear out what's moving up here. I'm also going to run a Needler. We're going to need this for the first boss fight of the run. And the hardest boss fight, let me add. So we're going to run through here. And where is... I think this guy's last. Yeah, I think this is the last guy. There we go. So we're going to charge up our Needler, grab some needles. And I'm going to wait for a checkpoint here. There we go. And this is the first boss fight. This is Tremonius. Starting the fight, I grappled him a couple times through some plasmas. Now, I got a bit unlucky there. I got quite unlucky here. This is a really hard fight, so this might take me a couple tries. In fact, even World Record has like a second try fight, I believe. I should remember that. So there's a couple jackals as well, so I'm kind of just like assessing what's alive and where. I also need to be careful because he can recharge his shields. So I need to be very, very careful where I am. He has two very powerful weapons. He has a grenade launcher and a shotgun. So we are... Whether we're close or far, we're kind of like he just damages from anywhere really. And sadly, the two jackals he brought with him have precision weapons as well that are very high damage. So there's a lot to manage going through here. It's a very hard fight. We're also just very squishy because it's legendary. But there we go. That's Tremonius dead, and there we go. That is Foundation. We have time for a quick donation if we have any.
Yes, we do. We have £5 from Calliope, who says 3 cheers for Emmy and her amazing work.
Woo! Okay, so next level, Outpost Tremonius. This level has a very interesting Easter egg on it. There are buttons around the map that we can press so that their anti-air cannons can fire on the enemies around us. But the developers kind of messed up a little bit. And for some reason, we can pick it up. So that's what we're basically beelining for right now. So we're going to do a little bit of a clear here. There's a button up ahead. Everything in this room needs to be dead. So we're just going to very quickly remove everything that we don't want alive. There we go. So we need to get to the landing pad to our right. There are enemies everywhere, and as mentioned before, the best thing to do on Legendary is literally just to run down the middle and hope for the best. That is what we're going to do. So we're going to run around. Thankfully, I made it through without losing my shields. We're going to pick up a rocket here. A Phantom's dropped off some enemies, so I'm going to cross a couple shock nades and head up top, and hopefully we're going to kill a few things with that. My second rocket didn't kill anything. That's kind of sad. It's okay. There we go. And because we're moving so fast, the enemies don't really have much time to react. So we're going to set up here. There's a second Phantom coming in. I've got a bit of a lineup. I'll fire the 2 rockets, and I picked up the Easter egg weapon, which is the tank gun. This is literally the head of a Scorpion tank that for some reason the developers left in as a weapon for the players to hold. This was one of the first things actually patched out. They patched it out and then brought it back because the community outcry was absolutely deafening. And quite rightly so, because it's actually a really cool weapon. So we're going to do a little bit of a cutscene skip here. For some reason, if we hit the button and then we save and quit, it'll skip a little unskippable cutscene, which is going to explain the mechanics of the open world. But we don't really care about the open world. The open world is simply a vehicle for us to get from level to level. So this actually begins the first open world level. This is Recovery. Recovery has 2 objectives. We have to capture a forward operating base and take the tower. So thankfully, the forward operating base is right in front of us. So we're going to start, and we're going to start up here, and we'll just quickly clear this. One-time shot, kill that guy there. Oh, one of the grunts is out of place, which is slightly annoying. Oh, there we go. And I also hit a little bit of a skip there. There's a little bit of a... There's supposed to be like 5 seconds of dialogue, but if you kill everything fast enough, everything dies. That death is actually also a cutscene skip, by the way. That cutscene is again unskippable, but because we died during it, the way the cutscene works is you have to exit the cutscene, and the fastest way to exit the cutscene is to die. So I tossed a couple nades there to get that done. We're also going to be grabbing something else here. We're going to be grabbing a mongoose, but we're not going to be using the mongoose. So we're going to be taking the pelican. So if I enter the pelican and I save and quit, so the way the pelican works is it brings in a vehicle and then drops it in the place. However, if we enter the pelican and save and quit, it deletes the AI pathing and lets us just fly it. So when we load back in, I'll be dropping my battle rifle and we'll get on in. I've also got a controller here because there's a little bit of tech you can do on controller, which is if you hold your analog stick at a certain angle, you'll just gain a lot of speed. So we're going to go on a little shopping trip here. We've got some upgrade points to grab. I actually forgot to grab a certain upgrade path, so upgrade token. So I have to do a bit of a risky route here. I might have to do a safety strat in a sec, but it's fine. We can recover. It's recoverable. There we go. So we'll make our way around here. We're also going to be grabbing another rather important item here called the Duelist Energy Sword. The Duelist Energy Sword gives us a 20% movement speed increase. It's a very, very handy thing for... Oh my goodness me, I think I'm dead here. Yeah, I'm dead. If I don't die here, it's an absolute miracle. Yeah, I should be dead. Okay, never mind. Okay, we're fine. We're absolutely fine. It's fine. We're black smoke, but don't worry about it. I'm not worried. I'm slightly worried. And we'll be parking up here to grab our last one. This is slightly dangerous, but again, if things go wrong, there is a backup I can do. If my pelican gets blown up, I'll just go get another pelican. Like, that's probably the best thing to do. The fact I'm not dead is a miracle right now, I'm going to be honest. And we'll pick up the last core here. Just going to land on in. Oh, I parked a little bit high, but this is fine. So because the Pelican's also a glitch vehicle, this is a glitch vehicle we're not supposed to have. When you exit, it actually just sort of sits in the air for a little bit, and then it'll pull out its landing gear, and then the game applies physics for some reason. So I'm flying into the tower here, because this is going to skip a little bit of dialogue, and make just getting into the tower a lot quicker and easier. So we're going to get out and make our way up top. So we're going to grab our last... Oh, why is my controller cable is in the way? Tell you what, I'm actually going to put that there, because I'm not going to be using that for a little bit. I got stuck with a nade. Wow. Interesting. Thankfully, my checkpoint is here. I've actually never been stuck with a grenade there. That's got to be marathon luck. So we're going to grab our last core here, and we're going to upgrade to Tier 3 Grapple. So, Tier 3 Grapple makes our grapple range a little bit higher. It also adds an EMP effect, so if I grapple an enemy, they will get shocked. And the most important thing it gives us is a ground pound. And the ground pound has a bit of an unintended feature. It lets us get through the map. So, that is one of the most powerful things in this entire speedrun. And I'm just going to be using this to break the game wide open. So, there's also... Clips are a little bit RNG. Like, this clip right here is top 5 worst clips in the game. And if a clip doesn't work, the only thing you've got... The only, like, recompense you've got is to revert and just hope it works. Thankfully, this one did work after a singular revert. There is something the community calls broken legs, where you cannot clip out of bounds because your leg hitbox gets misplaced. There is an ongoing argument as to whether or not this is cope, or if this is actually a mechanic. So, we're going to come up to the second boss fight now. This is Shacklock. And the thing we're doing actually in the tower is we're actually freeing a Spartan called Spartan Griffin. He's not going to make it. I'm just, spoiler alert, he's not going to make it. So, chat clock. There we go. I missed. That's okay. Where is he? Can you come back here, please? Where is he gone? Oh, there he is. There we go. And that's him dead. That's boss fight 2 taken care of. So, we've got a little bit more Pelican flying here. So, if we have any donations to get through, now is a fantastic time to do so. Nope, doesn't look like it. So, we're going to be making our way over to the excavation site. And the Banished are essentially trying to dig this ring to find something called the Endless, which from a lore perspective are something that are immune to the Halo Ring array, which makes them more dangerous than the Flood, supposedly. I'm not much of a lore person. You'd need to ask a lore man, as opposed to me, who just I just play the video game. So we're gonna make our way over here. So we're at the dig site. I put my hand on the wrong part of the keyboard, by the way. That's nice. That is why runners pause, by the way, when they switch back from controller to keyboard. But I don't. So we're gonna make our way up top. Grab this core here. So technically, we have already started excavation site, which means that we have satisfied the requirements for the all missions category. So I can just go out of bounds here. Grapple this rock, and this is the end of the excavation site mission right here. So I can just go back in bounds, and that's me just skipped an entire mission right there, saving me a couple minutes. So now we're on to the level Conservatory. There's another Spartan over there who would give us another item known as the Drop Ball. We recently routed out the Drop Ball because the cutscene associated with it loses around 30 seconds. So a runner named Alice last year decided that she didn't want to pick it up anymore. She didn't want to lose 30 seconds, so she just completely rerouted the entire game so we didn't need to take it. So Conservatory is the first of the out-of-bounds levels that we're going to be doing, where essentially the ground pound maneuver lets me just get in and out basically everywhere I want. So, making our way through here. This is another room that Strat changed recently. When I started going for world record, there was an out of bounds in this room that was absolutely awful. And I complained to Alice about it and said, this is awful, I hate this. So she sat down and she said, hey, I'm going to find you a new strat. And she found me this, where if I line myself up, oh, never mind, okay. This lineup is a bit finicky, so I'm actually going to have to, I need to look for a very specific smudge on the door. We're doing what's called a coil pinch right now. When I grapple a coil, for some reason the physics decide to take precedent over the player. So I can kind of use that to squeeze through walls in different areas. There we go, I got through it. So I brought another coil with me, because we're going to do another pinch. We're going to do what's called glass clip. I absolutely hate this pinch with a burning passion, because I swear it changes this lineup every single time I PB. And that time that lineup worked. Okay, that lineup's going to work until next time I PB. Good to know. So we're going to make our way up here. I'm going to do a little, oh, I was going to try and do a swing clip there, but I missed. So we're supposed to do another little combat counter here, but once again, we can just ground pound out the map. And making our way over. So something else to note is that I'm not taking clear A to B lines when out of bounds. That's because there are what are called FBX barriers. FBX is the file format which Halo Infinite uses to store its maps. So essentially, if I exceed the barriers of the map, the player gets despawned. We picked up the last little upgrade we're going to be grabbing, which is the thruster module. The thruster module gives us a little bit when used, and paired with our grapple sliding is very, very powerful. It's also very powerful when doing launches. Because I don't know if I mentioned this when doing the warship launch, but coil launches and other types of launches give you what we call terminal velocity, which is a bit of a misnomer, because terminal velocity in this game refers to the maximum speed the engine can handle. If you go past a certain speed, the game basically the game stops applying gravity to you, which is a very, very interesting concept. But yeah, that is Conservatory done. We are moving on. That was actually pretty clean. The coil pinches don't typically go that easy. So yeah, now we're on to Spire. Right. So the elevator's meant to ride to the top, but we have a grappling hook, so we can just make our way up top ourselves. I did actually use the Spartan core that I grabbed before Conservatory to upgrade my thruster module, so now I have 2 thrusts, which is very, very, very handy. The upgrade also makes it so that I only actually need half a charge in order to use the thruster, which again is very, very useful because it lets me just like gain a lot of speed very, very fast. So we're making our way down to the Spire. Once again, the best way to deal with enemies on Legendary is just to run past them. And now we have the introduction of the Hunter enemies. So we're going to basically just use our tank gun and our thruster to navigate around. Hunters, I can't remember if this behavior was added this game or last game, but Hunters essentially, when their partner dies, they just get a massive boost of power, which is something from the lore, I believe, because they're all sort of connected in a way. But now is the most exciting part of the run. This is a 2-minute auto-scroller. So if we have if the host would like to share anything, now it's a fantastic time to do so. If not, I guess we can. I can talk about the story a little bit. So we skipped a lot of the story, but essentially Halo Infinite takes place on what's called Zeta Halo. The Master Chief and a pilot known as Echo 2... is it Echo 216? I can't remember which... Hang on. Echo 419 is CE... Yeah, 216. Echo 216 is the pilot we're trapped with. Essentially, he and I are trying to retake the ring. And... in-game, maybe only like an hour or so has passed, but we've maybe done about 25 minutes of work. We've honestly skipped a lot of the open world. The open world is actually... it's a first for the Halo series. It's a pretty decent open world by most standards, but I don't know, it's not the best. But, yeah. Also, we've still got a little bit of time, so if there's anything to share, then be my guest.
Yes, I would like to give a quick shout out to our friends at BSG and NSG for their continued support of UKSG. BSG Plus is coming up January 17th until January 24th from Nieuwegein in the Netherlands, and they are taking submissions starting tomorrow. NSG Spring 2026 will be coming live from Gjerdrum near Oslo between April the 24th to April the 26th. Both are absolutely amazing events, and if you'd like to learn more about these and other speedrunning organizations, be sure to check out oengus.io. That is oengus.io, and they can give you information for all the latest and upcoming speedrunning marathons. Again, thank you both to BSG and NSG for their continued support. Be sure to check them out. But for now, let's get back to UKSG.
Right, so now that's the auto-scroller ended. Very exciting. And now we're entering a 30-second loading screen. Irregardless of your hardware, for whatever reason, for this singular set piece, the game decides to load the entirety of the open world. The inner machinations of Halo Studios is a mystery. So we'll just wait a little bit of a second here. I suppose we could talk about the next level coming up. The next level is going to be Pelican Down, which is a fan favorite amongst the speedrunning crowd because it's a very fast level. There's a lot of launches. There's 2 different routes to take on it. They don't really have names, so I name. Well, one of them is called the Comfy route, and I named the other one the Sweaty route because, like, you kind of just have to be a sweat to go for it. Really, the only runners who really go for that are probably like Manky, Nails, and Dice. I tried to go for it, but I hate it. But anyway, yeah, that's another boss dead, by the way.
Do you mind if I quickly say something?
Go for it.
Games Done Quick has just raided us. Welcome to UKSG, people from Games Done Quick. We are raising money for Crisis, a charity that is looking to provide the support needed to help people in homelessness. 90% of your generous donations goes to Crisis, while 10% is put towards ensuring that UKSG can continue to grow, and all going well, make a bigger impact moving towards in our fundraising activities. Thank you to everyone who has donated so far. If you'd like to learn more about how you can support us here at UKSG, check out the links below in the Twitch stream, or simply type donate in chat.
Well, thank you for the raid, GDQ. So So we're here on Pelican Down. I've grabbed the coil. I drove a ghost up to here. There's a big debate whether grapple sliding or the ghost is the fastest method to get here. I just take the ghost because it's a bit safer. The AA guns were supposed to like kill enemies and press buttons, but again we have the key to get through any wall we want. So we're gonna get to the next AA gun. The best way to do it is just to get a little coil launch here. So something to mention about these AA guns is they can actually soft lock the game. We don't have game code, so we don't actually know why. The best guess we have is either the pathing or the pathing we take or triggers that we miss on the way there. But yeah, that's 2 AA guns down. We've got one more to go. Where's my thing to line up with? There it is. Again, I'm using random smudges on the walls. And we're going to get another coil launch here over to the 3rd AA gun. And something else to mention is that when I'm going at terminal velocity, I can actually mash control, which can help me lose a little bit of speed, which obviously we need because we need to get in here ASAP. I'm also going to delay a checkpoint because I need to go for a pretty hard launch here. So this launch here is unironically one of the hardest in the game. That's not just me coping, although it might. Yeah, there we go. It has a chance to just send you a random direction. So we will try this again. There we go. That's what we want. And then we're gonna land over here because we're now gonna kill we're gonna kill a double boss. This is Tovarus and Hyperius. Hyperius is gonna spawn on a chopper, and chopper is like probably the worst vehicle in Halo. But when he gets out, he's gonna have a long distance grenade launcher and a sniper, which was, I don't know why they thought giving a boss a sniper was a good idea. But go off, Halo Studios, go off. So that's one dead. So not really a concern, but when Tovarus spawns in, you actually have to wait for Cortana to stop speaking before you can deal damage to him. Thankfully I was slow enough that wasn't really an issue. But yeah, that is Pelican Down completed. So now we're on to the next level, the Sequence. Sequence is interesting because in between the 3rd AA gun and the boss fight, the game doesn't actually save our loadout. So whatever weapons I had entering the 3rd AA gun, i.e. this coil, I'm going to have at the start of Spire. We're supposed to kill some enemies here, but for some reason if you just coil launch into the air and fast travel out, the enemies will be deloaded and the game just considers the... Oh, okay. I'm just going up for some... Well, I know why that happened. I didn't get enough speed. Typically what we want enough speed to bonk the soft barrier at the top of the map, but I didn't get that, which is fine. So when we spawn back in, we're either going to be at the start of Sequence or we're going to be at Fob Golf. I'm hoping for... Yeah, we're at Fob Golf. So the setup for the Sequence is that there are 4 towers set up around the map, and we need to deactivate all of them. So we're going to call a Pelican, because we need to make our way around the map, and we need to make our way around the map fast. Now the Pelican is the best way to do that. So this level is... A lot of runners don't like this level, and I think they're babies for that. I love this level, especially on easy. A lot of runners are like, wow, I don't want to fly around in a Pelican for ages, but it's nice downtime, you know? Oh, okay. The Pelican can just do this sometimes. Sometimes it just decides it's having a day off. So, again, we're going to get our little drift angle here and make our way around. This kind of goes to show, like, because this level casually... You're just supposed to run around the... This level casually is essentially just filler. So, but with the speedrun, we can just grab a Pelican and we can just go for a little... We can go for a fly around. So the first tower is actually shockingly close to Fob Golf here. So I'm going to park my Pelican in a way that I can get another drift immediately to the next tower. So we'll exit. Each tower has a different like enemy quota to kill. This one we need to kill everything, and there's also an auto scroller as well because there's 2 phantoms that spawn in. Where is my phantom? There it is. So I'm gonna kill this phantom. There we go. There's a couple sniper jackals up top here. Sniper jackals are very, very, very annoying enemies. If you've played Halo 2, you know exactly why. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know why that enemy got stuck there. I've never seen him stuck. We've got a couple more hunters here, which we're just gonna take out nice and slow. we go. Nice. One last Sniper Jackal. So I also picked up a Spartan core on Pelican down. And for some reason that core is actually bugged. And it just, for some reason, that one crate gives you 2. So I'm going to use that to upgrade my shields. I'm going to get tier 2 shields, which is another 30% on top of the 15% that Bonita gave me. And now I'm just going to set up for the last Phantom here. He's going to spawn in over here, and we're just going to try and insta-kill him. So he's going to spawn. And there we go. Nice. I think I knocked... Yeah, we're good. So we can do some movement to get into the to get in here, or we can just clip out of bounds and get on top and clip back in. And the area I set up my Pelican is actually right next to the fast travel location. So once I press the button, I can just fast travel back out and get back in. Easy as that. So this is where sequence kind of gets hard. There are random Banshee spawns, and if my Pelican gets damped, I also just got hit with a skewer there. That's kind of scary. Because I need a certain amount of Pelican health for a trick later. I got a cringe Banshee. Hopefully he doesn't spot me. Okay, we're good. He hasn't spotted me. So we only really need to worry about the Banshees between this tower and the 3rd. So we're going to set up here. And we've got another little bit of a clear. This clear is really boring because I'm literally just going to stand where the enemies can't hit me and kill them all. So now is probably a fantastic time if the host has got anything they'd like to share.
Yes, I do have a few things to say. This donation came in from a previous run. It's £10 from Naomi Plays, who says, "Go said go, sending you all the love." We also have £10 from Lucy, who says, "Shout outs to the tech team." That has gone to Storming Ascent. And we also have a £5 donation from Calliope, who just says, "This is a test donation." And that has gone towards the any % upgrade to 40%. Thank you all for your donations. We seem to be back up, and it's back over to you.
Sweet. Once again, this tower is really, really boring. I'm literally just standing where the enemies can't hit me, and well, they can hit me, but they can't hit me very well. Myself and the previous world record holder, Bynail, went back and forth on what strat we like to do. So when Nails got record, he decided to sit down there. But typically he would get 2 to 3 deaths, and then when I was going for record, I said, you know what, I'm just going to stand up here. It's nice and safe. Maybe it loses time, but dying is also pretty slow. So we're gonna, I think that's most, if not everything dead. So I'm gonna make my way down. There's a couple things alive underneath. This is fine. There we go. And I think that is, yep, that is everything. I did get hit with a nade there, which is a bit sad. I don't know if I can go for this now. Can I go for this clip? Let's find out. I can. Nice. That just saves me doing a little bit of movement. And again, we set our Pelican up so that it is next to the fast travel point. So we're going to hop back in and grab the controller once again. And get another drift here. We're going to pray that we don't get another cringe Banshee here. And if we do, we're going to hope he doesn't spot me. We did get a cringe Banshee. Oh no, please don't spot me. I think we're good. Okay, he didn't spot me. We're fine. So now we just need to worry about the last cringe Banshee, which I've had the other 2. Hopefully we don't get this one. Knowing my luck, we just might. No, we did not. Nice. I'm glad. I'm very happy about that. So we're going to park at the back here. Typically on easy, we would actually just park, we would just do some splatter kills with the Pelican, but we can't do that on Legendary because we would just die. So instead I'm just going to stand up here and do a few things. There's a Jackal hiding back there. I've never seen the Jackal hide down there. The quota here is interesting because it's 2 Jackals, 2 Brutes, and the 2 Elites piloting that Wraith over there. So the gunner thankfully got out. For some reason, the gunner, for some reason the pilots can just get out. The pilot got out this time because I blew up his Wraith. But typically, they can just, if you stand up top for long enough, they will just get out. Oh, I grabbed the wrong part. There we go. And we can just grapple, we can just clip back into this tower. So, we've only got 1 more to go. So we're going to come back up top. We're going to grab the last Spartan core because we're going to do 1 more upgrade before we... because after the sequence, we are exiting the open world forever. One of the downsides to playing on this patch is actually that you cannot... there's a point of no return. where about half of the game you're locked out of the open world. Thankfully they did fix this in Season 2, but unfortunately they also just fixed the rest of the game, which was really sad. My favorite part is that they did a devs react over on IGN, and the devs were like, oh my god, this speedrun is so cool, you guys are so sweet, thanks for finding all this stuff in our game. Then the next day dropped a patch to get rid of all of it. It's fantastic. So if I line up here with some cardinal directions at terminal speed... Oh, never mind. So what's supposed to have happened there is I was supposed to get out and go at terminal speed, but for some reason I'm at the sweet spot of health where I can't do that, which is really, really sad because it looks really cool. This is 2 marathons in a row now that I've not been able to show that off. I'm really sad, but it's fine. Go to hillruns.com and watch mine and Nails' runs. You'll actually get to see it properly done. So the other thing is, the other sad thing is this actually doesn't let us get some kills on the enemies here. Because typically while we'd be going terminal, we would actually use the tank gun to kill some enemies around here. Because this is a very packed area. Oh, I did not kill Jetpack Jonathan. Okay, Jetpack Jonathan is dead. We're safe. And there we go. The Pelican is now just kind of in the way, which is another problem. Let me just get rid of it. Another way you can tell this is a glitch vehicle, by the way, is it just doesn't have an animation for exploding. It just disappears. It's very goofy. Funnily enough, vehicles that were intended to be in the game, such as the Phantom, even do that, which is really, really poor. There we go. But yeah, we'll just kind of slowly make our way through this clear. There's still a few enemies down bottom shelf. Oh, I am overextending. Let's not do that, shall we? Dying is slow. There we go, and I think it's just... I think we're clear, actually. We are clear, because the music has stopped. Okay, so this is the last tower, and yeah. We can do some movement. We can't actually clip into this one, because the clip back and bounce is a 50-50 chance to just not work, and we don't understand why. But yeah, we're just going to make our way back to the main tower in the sequence, so if the host has anything they'd like to share, now it's a phenomenal time.
I would like to share a few things. We have £5 from Big to Dave, who says, hello world, and that has gone to the any % upgrade to Corgi %. We also have £20 from Anonymous, who has provided no comment, but has put it towards Storming Ascent. And then we have £25 from King Europe, who says, Storming Ascent is an easy level. Right? And obviously that's gone to Storming Ascent. Back to you.
Sweet. So now we've entered the Nexus. This is a very, very difficult level. This, again, is a level that went back and forth in strats between myself and the previous world record holder, Nails. He would do this room very differently. I just sort of YOLO my way through it. And it worked. For some reason, just YOLOing works. So we're going to be doing... This is a very movement-focused level. If you like the movement in this game, this is going to be one of your favorite like individual level speedruns. So, coming on forward here. Hopefully I'm going to get a checkpoint. I did, and sweet. Because there's a few what we call suicide grunts up here, who just pull out nades and kill you immediately. And the best way to handle them is literally just to go over the top before they can react to your presence. So now we're just making our way through. I'm going to be going for... Yeah, I'm going to do it. There's a new strat that Nails came up with. So I ran this game at ESA, and I woke up to do my run to the news that Nails had found a brand new strat on this level that saves around 40 seconds. He dropped a new individual level record on the same day, and then just sort of went back into hibernation. So I'll try and do it for you all today, because it's a really, really cool strat, and I really like it. It's a cool strat. It looks really awesome as well. It saves around 40 seconds from what we just typically do. We're going to do another coil pinch through this door as well. So we're just going to... Oh, never mind. Okay. Interesting. Let me pinch this again. Okay, this pinch has just decided not to work today. There we go. We're through. So, because usually we're supposed to kill, like, enemies, do some more quota, but no point in that. So we're going to grab a coil here, and then we're going to go back out of bounds. Because, again, we're meant to kill some hunters, but that is slow. There we go. We're also going to be, sticking quite close to... Because we're supposed to be going down that chute there, so I stayed quite close to that. Because otherwise I would get caught in an FDX barrier. And again, if I get caught in an FDX barrier, I freeze and get deloaded, which is a no-no. So we're going to make our way through here. The way Nails did this in his individual level was he propped it up with a drop wall, which we don't take in full game speedruns anymore. So I just kind of have to prop it against here and then get like a very particular timing on it. I'll go for it a few times. I'm not going to waste too much time on this. It does look cool, though. I would like to hit it. And let's go for another. Let's get one more. Let's get one more. There we go. That's what we want to see. Because typically the way that we do this is that we would just grapple along this wall here. But Nails just said, you know what, we've got coil. I guess I'm going for it again. I guess I'm going for it again. Do we have donations we can go through while I die of embarrassment?
We do. We have £10 from Glenn Tolfer saying, "Hey Caitlin, I'm really enjoying the run. Thanks for explaining everything so well. Movement tech looks incredible." And we also have £100 from Anonymous. And I would also like to say, we are, while donations are not fully fixed, we are currently manually verifying all donations that are coming through. So please do keep donating. Press exclamation mark donate in chat to get a donation link. And if you have any funny messages to send to the verifiers, please keep them within TOS. Back over to you.
Sweet. So now that we've entered, so this is the Nexus seed room. We're doing a little bit of out of bounds here to skip some dialogue, because typically we'd have to wait for Cortana to speak once again. As you can see, there's like things on my screen talking about this, that, and the other, but that is slow. So we are just going to very quickly make our way back. We've got 3 seeds to put in. So again, holding seeds is very slow. Grapple sliding very fast. So we're gonna just make our way through here. There's also some sentinels here. The best way to deal with them is literally just to run past, like everything else in Legendary. And to make our way to the next one. Hopefully I'm going to get a checkpoint here, because this room can be kind of tough. I did not get one, but it's fine. Who needs checkpoints? I certainly don't. I hope I need any. So we're just going to come through here. We're gonna. The sentinels in these rooms can actually be pretty dangerous, because it's quite a confined space. So in between like throwing and waiting for grapples, I'm just going to kill them. There we go. So we got one more seat to go. There we are. Making our way through. Take out those guys. Grab the seat again. Ooh, okay, this is a bit sketchy, but this is fine. We're fine. This is absolutely fine. I'm not worried. I was completely worried. So after putting in this 3rd seed, we're going to do another dialogue skip here just by ending the game. Which, there's a lot of save and quit abuse throughout this game. It just makes it go a lot faster. So once we spawn back in, we're going to grab a coil. Because I'm hopefully going to carry this coil to the next level. This coil launch was only very recently added. The coil launch we're doing is on the next level. That was very recently added to the run, because we just decided, hey, why don't we just, because there's like a section where we grapple, and we're like, hey, why don't we just bring a coil to this? And yeah, so there we go. I did grab it. So there we go. I somehow hit the level end trigger. That's insane. So yeah, that was Nexus. And now we're on to the Command Spire, aka the 2nd Spire. We've got a little bit of waiting here to do. Do I get a little bit of a chance to rest my hands?
If there's a bit of waiting, can I get some donations read out then?
Absolutely you can. You've got time for maybe 2 or 3.
Right, so that's perfect. Second, we have £15 from Critical Sid saying £5 for every hero's moment. Thanks again very much for having me, and that goes to the any % upgrade to Corgi %. We also have £15 from Claude, who has also donated £5 for every hero's moment as promised. Thank you heroes for being nice and allowing me to pay my rent. Unlike Vector. C. Alright, and back over to you.
Sweet. So opening of Command Spire, we're just immediately going to go back out of bounds, because staying in bounds is slow. So this out of bounds section here is probably one of the hardest in the run. Especially because we're holding a coil. Our movement is a lot slower. This clip here is a bit finicky. There's about a 50-50 chance it just puts you back into the map. And this is the one time where we don't want to be doing an out of bounds. There's also an FBX barrier literally right underneath my feet. So I'm doing some very careful grappling here. We're going to go back in bounds. And there we go. The coil that we brought is going to get used in a little second here. You can also, for some reason, you can ground pound those teleporters and they just send you very fast. It's one of the better mechanics. It's actually oh goodness me, it actually has some proper use later on in the run. I'm going to prop up this coil against the wall and do another launch up here. As mentioned previously, we used to, oh goodness me, we used to just grapple up here. I'm going to have to grapple up here because I sadly missed my my catches, which is fine. This was one area where the drop pole used to be very handy. The drop ball used to be very handy for out-of-boundsing, because you could literally just use the drop ball to clip through any thin surface. So here's an actual tele-yeet that we're going to be using. It gets to the end of the hallway. So Alice had to work very hard to find that clip, and she did very well. So we're fighting the same boss from the first Spire again. We're going to be fighting him in very much the same manner, throwing a plasma and then firing some tank shots. The reason why I throw the plasma is actually to skip invulnerability phase. So that's him just gone, and that's the first part of Command Spire. So yeah, we have another little wait, and once again we are going to be waiting in another 30-second loading screen for the game to load the next area. So if we have anything to go over, now is a phenomenal time.
Yes, we have £50 from Dino95HD saying, great to be back for another UKSG. Looking forward to some amazing runs and raising more money for a great cause. And that has gone to the any percent upgrade to Corgi percent. We also have £12 from Dysartes who says, hey, this button works again. Also, round numbers are good. We also have £10 from Endure who says, let's go Kate, GL, and good RNG to you. And did someone say HaloRuns.com?
HaloRuns.com, that one-stop shop for all your Halo speedrunning needs. That was Endure 4. He's a Halo 3 runner, Halo 3/ODST. He is in therapy for that. So HaloRuns.com is a phenomenal website that you should all go to if you have any interest in running any of these games. You should also join the HaloRuns Discord, because there's literally hundreds of people waiting to teach you how to speedrun their game. In fact, if you want to learn this game, Combat Evolved or Reach, there's a very good chance it'll be me in the chat helping you out. So definitely stop on by. Wonderful community. Absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, definitely check us out. So this is a little clear up top here. We cleared out some enemies, and then we had some phantoms spawn in. And yeah, oh, there we go. So that's the end of Command Spire. So moving on next, this is my personal favorite level in the entire run. This is Repository. This is another level that me and Binails have gone back and forth on holding record in. He currently holds record because his current run was just phenomenal. But I will maybe go claim it back. So we're just going to make our way across here. Once again, the best way to deal with these areas on Legendary is just to run through. I didn't get my cheater check. Oh, I did get my cheater checkpoint. Nice. For some reason, you can just get a checkpoint like while a million enemies are looking at you. It's a phenomenal checkpoint to get there. So the reason I love this level is because the movement on it is absolutely phenomenal. Like this little jump here is so nice. Because again, we're supposed to be using power seeds to activate light bridges, but with some really good movement here, we can just get across. And once again, doors are broken. We can just get out of bounds. This is actually another very recent find coming up. Alice has this like knack of just walking into certain areas and finding skips. For some reason, there's an FBX barrier up here, and for whatever reason, she just decided that if you do that, you just squeeze right through it. It doesn't look like very much, but that maybe saves like 5-10 seconds of running around. So again, we're just gonna make our way through, kill a couple enemies on the way. Oh, never mind. That elite got in my way there. Typically he dies with that tank shot there, but if he doesn't, it's fine. Oh. I'm gonna have to adapt a little bit here because I wasn't fast enough. This is fine. There's a white elite here. He is a massive pain in the backside, so we're gonna make sure that he dies. White elites have a special property wherein if you get too close or they get too low, they go invisible and pull out a sword. And swords hurt, so we don't want to get hit by that. There is actually a skip for this elevator here. I've never played with it. A runner named Lorhay really likes the coil launches in this game. So he'll just decide, hey, I want to do a coil launch here, and he'll lab one out. There's actually one there that saves a good chunk of time, but I've never ever played with it. It's been a good few months since he's found it, and I've just never I've never played around with it. So once again, we're going to go back out of bounds. So what's meant to happen is we're meant to enter a main room and kill some enemies, and then come into these side rooms to get some seeds. However, we can just get out of bounds and into there immediately. So there's a couple brute chieftains in this one. One holding a plasma cannon who doesn't have any shields, and one holding a trash gun, which we can get rid of. I think it's literally called the trash gun, by the way. Oh, this is my favorite bug. So the sentinels in this room, for some reason, can just spawn in invisible. And they can damage you, but you can't damage them. So once we've grabbed the seed here, we're just going to wait for Cortana to do some speaking. And we're going to do another tele-eat. And so we're going to come back here, going to toss this seed, and we're going to come back, and we're just going to go immediately back out of bounds again. I said we're going to immediately go back out of bounds again. And we're going to go right the way to the second seed room. This is a strat that took a little while to catch on. Again, myself and Nails really started going for it, and then like a lot of other runners have as well. Because typically what you would do is you would put... Okay, that's not how that's meant to go, by the way. So, he is not meant to kill you there, believe it or not. So once again, there we go. Right, he was facing the correct direction this time. So, then I can just kind of go up, kill him there. So typically what you would do is you would take that first seat, and then you would travel back to the main foyer, kill some of the enemies, and then make your way into the second room. Then Nails and I just start clipping into it, which is honestly the best way to handle it. Another tele-eat here. And then we need to clear this room out, because there's a lot of enemies, and there's also a little bit of... It's not really a soft lock, there's like a weird... This room has a weird property. Because we entered it the wrong way, the game actually doesn't know where we currently are. So it's trying to find us, and when it does find us, it's going to teleport us to a random part of the map. And we don't want that to happen, because believe it or not, that is slow. On easy, that's not a concern, but on legendary, we have to kill everything in here. Thankfully, I did manage to clear everything as while putting the seeds in, so we're good. We have to wait a little second for this grab lift to start, because past a certain point, we actually can't activate our grapple. So once we're at the top here, if I didn't kill those enemies, I would actually have to do a save and quit, so that the teleport didn't happen. I didn't get my slide there for some reason, that's a bit annoying. It's okay. So thankfully, because I killed all the enemies, I don't need to do the save and quit, we're fine. And again, we're supposed to press another button, kill a lot of enemies, but we can't. We have the key to get out of the map. So now we're on to the road. The road is a phenomenal level. I like this a lot. There are many different ways to do this. I'm a bit ahead. I'm gonna try and do a silly way of doing the road. I'm gonna try and do it a little bit. I'm gonna try and be silly. If it doesn't work the first time, then I'll do the standard strats. Also, the trigger volume for the road just kind of sticks out. So we can just go out of bounds and thrust into the load zone, and then restart the mission and we're on the road. So we're going to do, as I said, I'm going to try and do a silly strat here. This is the road coil launch. To do that, I need to not go over the coil. So, yeah, never mind. That didn't work. That coil launch is one of the hardest in the game. A runner named LiamTrader43 is sort of popular for that one. He holds the record for this level on easy with an 18-second record where he coil launches into a lunge warp, which is one of the coolest individual level strats there is. Sadly, it's not very viable on legendary, so instead what we do is we just use a chopper to get to terminal. I'd set. Okay, that didn't work. This strat here, what we do is we use a shock nade to get the acceleration for the chopper stuck on so we can go terminal velocity. And we just fly over the map. Turning right here, and I'm going to start mashing control to get rid of my terminal velocity here because we're trying to get into that doorway. There we go. And I'm going to try and slide out. I got the slide, but I didn't get very much momentum, which is a bit sad. Typically, I try and break my momentum so I land on the dirt slope. As that gets you a ton of momentum. There we go. Now we're on to House of Reckoning. This is one of the most broken levels in the entire run. We're meant to do 3 back-to-back wave fights, but once again, we have the key to get out of bounds. So what we're going to do is we're going to line up here and get out of bounds again. And we're going to line ourselves up here and just sort of look up. Because we're going to wait, we need to wait for a little bit of dialogue here, and then I'm going to count some buzzers. So the way this level works is that we need to hit the entrance trigger for each room and the exit trigger. The waves don't actually matter. What matters is the dialogue we overlap. So he's going to start talking. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So on 6, I'm going to hit this trigger here, which is going to make me enter the second room, and I'm going to make my way around here. And if I've done this right, which I think I have, okay. So sadly, I missed an extra overlap there, but it's fine, because this part of the level has a chance to soft lock, which is really, really bad. So now the exit trigger is just waiting for the dialogue, so I'm just going to stand back here, wait for that to activate. So once this is done, we're going to be entering the third to last boss of the run. It's now also a good time to mention I am way ahead of estimate, because this is, we're about, the next level, last level's next. So this clip back in bounds is my one contribution to this entire speedrun. And it inflates my ego every single time I see someone use it. There we go. So now we've got the third to last boss fight. This is... I actually forgot this guy's name, so we're just going to call him Jeremy. So we're going to shocknade him, sword him twice, and hit him with the tank gun. And once my objective updates, I'm going to save and quit. So reloading here. What happens is when we kill this boss, the game immediately saves, but the save location is further on and past some dialogue. So that just helps us skip a little bit. And then we're going to do the second to last boss. I'm going to say we're going to kill him, but I say that very loosely. What we're actually going to do is we're going to deload him. So to start the boss fight, we are going to swing around. Because the way this boss works is that you damage him in increments and then blow up power generators. So that's really slow. So instead what we're going to do is we're just going to get out of the map, make our way down here, and when we touch this crane, we're going to pause, end the game, and when we load back in, because the boss has died and the game is saved, the game is going to update our active mission to the Silent Auditorium, which is the last level in the run and the hardest of them all. So, we're going to start by immediately. I got immediate bad spawns immediately, but this is fine. I can probably. Oh, I cannot work with this. Never mind. So that we're actually going to restart the mission here, try and get some different spawns. I actually don't. The thing is, this part is really, really tough. Previous record holder Bineals never even used to go for this because it is just really difficult. I actually might be dead here because I'm getting... Yeah, damn. But I actually got some good spawns, so I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this. Hopefully we're going to get this time. This is really, really tough. And we're not going to talk about what I just did there because I kind of just broke my character, but it's fine. I am shocked I made it through that. So, fun fact, when you thruster with the tank gun out, the game deletes your legs. And I just accidentally did that in a room full of enemies, which should have killed me. That should have been the time I died. But it's fine. The game let me live. So now we're going to come back in bounds here. This back in bounds clip is really, really finicky for some reason. And we're going to do another little coil pinch here. Coming up is actually the hardest back-to-back rooms in the entire game. I call them Hell Room. There is actually kind of a thing in Halo where like really hard rooms in runs just get called the Hell Room. This room is very fitting at that. So that checkpoint I've just got there is the last checkpoint I'm going to get for about 2 minutes. Unless I do something really, really cringe in the next room. And I'm going to do that because I want checkpoints. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here, shoot that grunt there because he could be a suicide grunt. Oh, that white elite bombed me there. Thankfully he did not kill me. So, when we enter this room here, I'm going to save and quit, because we actually hit a save point here. What saving and quitting does here is it deletes a couple holograms that are having a conversation, which for some reason count as enemies that are locked onto the player and don't get deloaded until much later on. So saving and quitting here deletes those holograms and it lets us get checkpoints. It also gives us a very handy checkpoint for Hell Room. So, what have we learned about Legendary? The fastest way to get through a room is literally just to run down the middle. So we're going to be doing that, killing only what we need to get past everything. So there we go. I actually didn't mean to kill that blue elite, but that helps me out. And here we go. Wow, okay, first try. That's nice. I don't even get that first try in world record. That's kind of nuts. We're going to make our way over. And we're going to go out of bounds again. And make our way over. Because we're meant to... Those holograms I mentioned are meant to have another conversation here. So we're just going to go out of bounds and skip that. Also going to pick up some nades for the end fight here. Make our way over. Kill this guy, because he is very annoying. And once again, with Legendary, fastest way to get through an area, literally just to run down the middle and hope for the best. Which is what we're going to do. Making our way through here. I'm going to wait for a checkpoint in this room here, because depending on where a certain white elite is going to change what I do in this room. He's in a really, really good spot. We're golden. And yeah. We're going to clip back out of... Again, we're meant to talk to Action Resolution, who is back after I killed him. I killed him twice, but for some reason he's back. And yeah, we're just going to make our way around. And clip back and bounce over here. So the run's kind of winding down a little bit. As mentioned, I am very underestimate. I did not expect this. Legendary usually doesn't treat me this well. I'd like to give a couple shoutouts really quick. First of all, to HaloRuns.com, a phenomenal community that you should all check out at some point. Do some runs. If you want to learn some games, you know exactly where to do that. I'd like to give a couple shoutouts to a couple friends. Alice, who I've been mentioning a lot throughout the run, is my inspiration for getting into the game and even taught me how to run it. It's her fault. It's her, I'm going to say it's her fault. It's thanks to her I am here in the first place. So thank you, Alice. Another big shout out to give is to my friend Ruby, aka Zephreich, who is one of the best friends that you could ever ask for. Always supportive, always there for me. We love it. A couple more shout outs, a couple more friends. Shiv, Hyperloop Tortoise, From the Grave, awesome people. So, but yeah, that being said, we are now in the final boss fight. So we're going to move on forward a little bit here. So there's going to be 3 waves, 3 damage phases, and we need to kill all the enemies and then damage the final boss, the Harbinger. This is going to be your first time seeing the Harbinger, but trust me when I say we've been seeing her throughout the entire game. We've just been skipping the cutscenes. So we're going to just start out by that. Both of those guys survived. That's not very good. This is fine. Wait, oh, apparently he died. Okay. So then we're looking for the Harbinger. We're just going to tank down her once, wait for her iframes, and then we're going to swap out our sword for our commando here. So now we're going to come on up. Now it's time for wave 2. Wave 2, what we're going to do is we're going to line up around here, and we're going to throw 3 grenades. We're going to throw 2 shock nades and a plasma. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to immediately turn right because there's a sniper jackal in this part that way that we want to kill immediately. Something survived up here, so we're just going to fire once again. And the Harbinger is once again vulnerable. So tank shot once, tank shot twice. And this is the final wave, so tech, be ready on time. Because this is going to be the final wave. So we're going to line up here because these 2 doors are going to open first and foremost. So I'm going to fire a tank shot. I'm going to try and snipe something in there, and then with fire, then I'm going to throw a couple shock nades to trap everything in that room. I'm going to look to see what survived. Looks like a couple skirmishers survived, but that's okay. Going to reload our shock rifle. Okay, and time. That is Halo Infinite Legendary. Once again, HaloRuns.com. Come check us all out. It's a phenomenal community full of phenomenal people. Yeah. That's all from me, really. So,
Right, thank you, Caitlin, for that amazing run of Halo Infinite, coming well under estimate. You gotta love it. I have a few donations to read out here. We have £32 from XL Shallow saying trans and non-binary rights are human rights. Good luck to all the runners and Marvin crew. Lizard. We also have £5 from Calliope, who says more testing, and that goes towards the any percent upgrade to Corgate percent. The previous donation from XL Shallow also went to that. We also have £5 from Inked Black Cat, who says, this is a freaking amazing speed run. Caitlin, you are doing fantastic. I hope everyone has a great day today. Keep smiling, everyone. Love you all. And we also have £15 from Delty Detegi. Wait a minute, that's me! And I just put my donation match for £5 for every Heroes moment, and I put that towards Storming Ascent. We're going to cut to intermission, and this was my only hosting. Up next we have... give me a second.
While we're waiting a second, I also just want to say thanks to UKSG for having me. Hopefully me coming under estimate is going to help us get back on schedule a little bit. Check out HaloRuns.com, and if you like Halo speedruns...
No, I meant hosting.
And if you do like Halo speedruns, then you should come to twitch.tv/Caitlin_HR. I speedrun a variety of different Halo games, not just Halo Infinite. So yeah.
Right, and up next we have Darkshox doing the 7th Phantasmagoria for the 13th Harveyless Souls of Doll. My god, and and I'm going to be handing over the host mic to Proasec, who will be taking you through that, hosting you through that run.